Hi everybody, welcome back to Living with Spice. It's Rebecca Gabrielle here. I need to apologise. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been able to post any readings. I've been going through a lot of change in my life, including moving home, and I just found it to be completely exhausting. So it took me offline for a while, and of course I inevitably got a cold after I moved. And anyway, it's just been quite difficult to get back into the readings. However, I have regained my energy, feeling really good, and so looking forward to getting back into doing these readings for you. I hope everybody has been well. I know that we've had an amazing full moon this week. I don't know if you've had a chance to view the beautiful moon. And of course, as always, the moon brings about a lot of intense energies for us. Quite often we associate a full moon with feeling very emotional, and sometimes that will bring up the shadow sides of things that are quite hidden emotionally and mentally that we haven't perhaps addressed in our life. But, you know, on a positive side, it is also an opportunity to really look at ways of how we can bring more love into our life as we reveal things that have been previously hidden that we haven't wanted to think about, face, deal with. There is an opportunity for us to be able to see the love in the situation, to see the learnings, the soul lessons in those areas of our life that we haven't had the courage, maybe the energy to address and really give our full attention and energy to. And so as we allow ourselves to feel the emotions that we feel and bring those things to the surface to address and reflect upon, we can actually practice a spirit of greater love and see things see people, our circumstances, ourselves through eyes of love and a heart of love and compassion. And often that makes dealing with life a lot easier and provides greater ability to see the possibilities in our life rather than always seeing the obstacles and feeling like life is too hard. So as we embrace the energy of the full moon this week, I encourage you to be compassionate with yourself and ask yourself, what would love do? How else can you see a situation, particularly yourself, with more love and more compassion? Because quite often when we do that, it can melt the hardest of hearts. It can help us come to a place of forgiveness, to be able to see through the eyes of someone else, to have greater empathy, and to open our heart to experience a greater level of understanding. Anyway, having said that, I do wish you well for the week, and I'm really looking forward to doing a general reading for all of you. And of course, as always, if you would like to have a personal reading that is more specific to your current situation, then please contact me. My details are on my website and in the bio below. And of course, if you find the reading useful and helpful to you, please share it. I'd love it if you'd like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me to increase my visibility on YouTube so that other people can benefit from the reading as well. All right, let's get into it then. As always, I have pre-shuffled and prayed over the cards, and I'm going to start with my popular deck of the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle cards, just to get us started with the theme for this week coming, which is, you know, the Easter week. We've all been enjoying, hopefully enjoying a lovely Easter weekend with family and friends, and very mindful, regardless of religious background or non-religious background that we may have, that it is a time for really thinking more in terms of how we can increase love in our life and to expand our experiences of unconditional love, regardless of our circumstances that we may find ourselves in. Okay. So, looking at the energies for the week ahead, which is the 22nd of April, from the 22nd of April. Okay, so we have here disruption, movement, and joy. Now that's a very interesting way to start the week. In this card here, where we have disruption, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the traditional tarot deck card of the Tower, but I don't feel a chaotic energy around this. Rather, I feel a change in our expectations and our circumstances. In this card, there is a lot of flowing of water. You'll notice that there's a large waterfall here, which, of course, water is often associated with our emotions. And what I'm sensing from this card is that coming up in the early part of the week, we may experience a situation that is different to what we expected, different to our hopes and expectations of things that we were planning coming up in the next few weeks, that there's a disruption to this. It feels like it's not an interruption, but rather just a change, and it feels positive to me. It feels like a positive change to what we were expecting. You know how sometimes we can get quite in our head about our plans and how we want things to unfold. I'm getting the sense that Spirit is stepping in here for your good, to step up and place you in a situation that's going to be more beneficial for you. And that's how I am reading and interpreting and intuiting this card of disruption. It feels like it might happen quite quickly. The energy of the waterfall is, of course, fairly intense. And yes, it may cause us to reevaluate how we feel and perceive a certain situation. So if we have been planning on making certain changes in our life, it's quite likely that something is going to be presented to us that we weren't expecting. And I'm getting the sense that it's going to be positive, perhaps a positive offer in terms of job, or it may be that there's contact from someone that you weren't expecting to hear from. In either case, it's something unexpected. But I do sense something positive around this. I do sense that it's going to be quick, that the disruption or the change of plans is going to come in unexpectedly and quickly, and it may, in the first instance, cause you to recheck your plans, rethink, perhaps catch you off guard a little bit. But if you embrace the idea that's coming through with openness, I expect that this is going to be for your positive gain. So be open to what happens and ask Spirit to guide you with any decisions that need to be made and to help you to be open to the sudden change that's coming to your plans. The next card appears a lot calmer on the surface, and perhaps after this immediate disruption there's a settling down. However, despite the stillness of the waters on the surface, there is always movement underneath. You know, underneath the water there is movement. And so when things tend to slow back down again in our life, sometimes it can appear, you know, that we can take a backward step, but in truth, there is progress and movement happening. So and both of these cards have reference to water, which tells me that there's going to be quite a lot of emotional change happening this week. And of course, that doesn't surprise me when we have quite an intense full moon as well at the same time. So in the initial first stages of the week, There's going to be intense feelings around your emotions. It's going to cause you to, sort of take a step back, and you may need to respond quickly around something. And then, so it's going to be heightened and maybe even a little bit excitement around this disruption and this perhaps offer or this contact from someone. So it's going to raise your energy, and then it appears to me midweek that there's going to be a sudden drop. And with the sudden drop in energy, perhaps emotionally you may feel a little bit low and a bit down and a bit deflated. So, the waters here are showing no movement at all compared to the very fast and rapid movement at the beginning of the week. So high intense emotions, high energy here, and then by midweek it suddenly, bam, drops. And so I do believe, though, that it's important for me to let you know not to be concerned about it, that everything is still going in a positive direction, because there's most definitely movement happening underneath the surface here. And so despite your change in emotions from going from high to low, please know that Spirit is working behind the scenes to bring about good things in your life for you. So, yeah, just be mindful of the fact that even though, as human beings, we do experience emotions and sometimes our thoughts can get the better of us, there is definitely a positive feel. I'm intuiting a positive feel to these cards. Don't lose hope. There is still movement and progress happening for you and for your greater good and for your gain. And of course, the last card confirms that, the card Joy. So this to me is the equivalent of the Sun card in the traditional tarot, which is really positive. It means that it's going to be very positive outcome for you. So that's great news. Things are going in a really good direction. So despite the turbulence, the highs and the lows of emotion and energy in the first part of the week, the result is happiness, success. Success in terms of what you actually were hoping for in your expectations. So, we talked about expectations in the beginning of the week in terms of your plans and a disruption to what you thought was going to happen, with, I think, a positive offer and something that's come out from left field that you weren't expecting. I'm encouraging you to take that on board and reflect upon it and see that in a positive light, and not be disturbed if you suddenly feel flat and like perhaps the offer is causing you to go in a little bit of fear, a little bit of doubt. Oh my gosh, can I do this? Can I handle this? Is this what I wanted? Gosh, it wasn't what I was expecting. And so sometimes when we're taken off guard and away from our expectations, it can cause us to go into a little bit of fear and a little bit of panic, maybe to feel a little bit down about ourselves, or perhaps a little bit low in confidence. Just be mindful that you don't need to be concerned, and to trust that everything is happening in a positive way for your greater good. So we've got that confirmation of the Joy card. And I do feel that the outcome is going to be solid. The outcome is going to be really what you were hoping for in the end. It's just that you weren't expecting the way it was going to progress. You weren't expecting it to come about in this way, but it's a positive outcome for you. And it's on solid ground. The offer, the opportunity, the news, the contact is on solid ground and something for you to feel happy about. I'm going to now pull a card from a relatively new deck that I have called Earth Magic Oracle Cards. Spirit, we ask you to bring us some guidance, clarify perhaps the energy of the week and the movement that is happening for us. What can you tell us about the week coming and the cards that have been presented for us? Help us to understand the message that has been put before us here in terms of the energy and the change and the offer being made. I need one more card. One more card. Thank you. One more card for the message for this week. Oh, we've got two. I'm going to go with that. Oh, interesting. Okay. We've got everything happening here in terms of weather. And the deck is about earth magic, but these cards specifically are all about weather. And it's funny, I was only talking to someone the other day about, the metaphor of having storms happen in our life, and that quite often when we're experiencing storms in our life, it's we can feel the intense energy and the chaos of the storm, and sometimes it can be a little bit frightening. But we need to remind ourselves that weather passes, storms pass, and the sun comes out again. So it's something to be mindful of. So in the first part of the week, we do have a lot of high energy. Like the first card, with this rapid, intense energy of the waterfall, we've got wind. So there's a lot of intense change coming through very quickly in the first part of the week. The wind is activating change in our life. It's bringing about change unexpectedly and out of our control. So again, we may have had plans as to how we thought things were going to progress, but I feel that again, Spirit is stepping in to place us in the most optimal position for the next stage of our life, for the next phase of our new period of beginnings, new beginnings that we've been experiencing in this first quarter of the year. Activation, a catalyst. Something is going to kickstart for you in your life. It may be something that is a catalyst for the beginning of a new relationship. It may be a catalyst or for the beginning of a new job. There's energy here that's getting you up and going. A little bit like a boot up the rear end. But it's very positive. It's bringing you up out of any lethargy that you've been in, and it's getting you up and going. Lots of intense energy at the beginning of the week. And so, interestingly enough, complementing the second card that we have, still waters here, and yet we know there's movement happening below the surface. The same with this card. How amazing is that? Same message. I love it. River, movement. You can see the still waters, the calmness of this card and the landscape. But we all know that with the winding river, there is very much movement of water below the surface. Water's running deep. Water's, any meandering river, we know that there's intense energy going around those bends. We don't always see what is around the bend, but we know that there is movement. So Spirit is reminding us, despite the fact we don't know what's around the corner, remain positive and know that this is for your highest good. We've got this beautiful sunlight, the energy coming from above to remind us that we are divinely supported and protected and guided. Don't lose heart at what appears to be still, because there's very much movement happening below the surface here. And we are being assisted by the universe. We are being assisted by the divine. It is somewhat out of our hands at the moment in a beautiful way. Spirit's taking over. The universe is supporting us, and things are moving in the direction of our hopes and our dreams to assist us in the next stage of our journey. As storms come and go, and the storms in our life are the changes that we're experiencing, the transformation that we go through. Rain is the most beautiful, purifying element that we can experience in terms of washing away the doubts, the fears, the clogginess, the stuckness that we feel in our life, the things that are no longer serving us. We're experiencing heavy rain to wash away and cleanse, to bring us to a beautiful new freshness in our life, to start fresh, to help us gain clarity for the journey going forward. It definitely is purifying and cleansing. It's nourishing. You know, the rain feeds us. The rain feeds our earth and washes everything clear. So any lingering toxic energy that we've been experiencing in our life, in our relationships, in our jobs, in our environment, anything that has been lingering in our heart and in our thoughts and giving us worries and troubles, we are being assisted right now. The universe is actually stepping in. God, Spirit, is stepping in to help us. How beautiful is this? This is very much the energy of this week, where we are being assisted. And the last lingering bits that have been clogging up our thoughts and our energy are being washed away, so that we can have a fresh start and we can focus with clarity. So the last card, the fog is clearing in our life, clearing away our thoughts, clearing our heart, helping us to come back to a place of health in our body. We are moving towards, as we get to the end of the week and we come out of this Easter season even, we are experiencing new light, new life, new energy. The fog in our life is finally clearing. That fog that has bogged us down for quite some time is finally clearing for us to see ourselves moving forward and to experience success and achievement of what we've been working towards, aiming for, dreaming of. Beautiful. There's such hope and joy and warmth and inspiration in this card. You know, as the fog clears, and you'll notice that there are mountains in the background, and as this fog clears, we're going to have the clarity as if we are standing on the top of that mountain and we can see everything about our life clearly, and we are aware of our purpose. We are coming to a place of aha, that big aha moment. Yes, this is why I'm here. This is my purpose. I am on focus, on point for my mission in my life. And how beautiful is that? Let me just up my, here we go, my brightness button on the thing, so I hope you can all see these cards. What a wonderful message. Oh my goodness, how positive going forward. Now, I got a sense that, you know, for me, Easter is, some people associate Easter with sadness in terms of loss, but with loss, it's more of a release of what is no longer serving us. And Easter is this opportunity to bring in new love, unconditional love, new ways of thinking, of being in tune with our spirit, of being connected at a soul level. An opportunity to really go deeper within ourselves and understand our purpose in our life and our purpose as we connect with others. So this period of time of being able to release and let go is bringing new life for us. So I wanted to pull some cards from my Mary Magdalene deck, which is a very loving deck and very fitting, I think, for Easter as well. Spirit, please give us some cards for this week in the spirit of love and the spirit of Easter. What do we need to know for this week? Oh, okay. Again, I have 4 cards that have popped out there. So we have transformation, heart and soul, colour and ascension, Wow. How perfect is that? So true that Easter is a time of transformation, going from dark to light, of experiencing, as we spoke about earlier in the reading, the revealing of the hidden shadows in our life, the things that we've not addressed, things that are unloving in our life, the things that are not serving us, and bringing those to the light to be reflected upon, examined, to be loved, to understand what it is to love all aspects of our being, rather than live hidden, rather than deny parts of ourselves, the things that we feel challenged by. We have an opportunity to bring these things to the surface, to experience a beautiful, unconditional love, the light that comes from this Easter period, to really feel our connection with the divine, to experience the love within, to recognize that we are connected to the divine, and that at no time are we ever alone. Despite the challenges that we feel in our life, the things that we go through, which sometimes can make us feel very alone, we are being reminded that we are never alone, that as spiritual beings first, before our physical life, we are divinely loved and protected, guided and supported, and we have the resources within us to always come to a level of understanding that we are loved and that we have the ability to overcome our fears. It is very much a period of transformation, transforming ourselves from within. Very perfect message for Easter. And of course we have heart and soul. Another very fitting message, that this is a period of time of examining our heart and reconnecting with our soul. As we take the opportunity in the quiet of the moonlight, in the quietness that we can create in our life, we can come back to our heart center and out of our busy mind. And when we do this, we can create clarity, experience peace within, which connects us to our soul. We can only really experience growth in our life and soul growth when we allow ourselves to connect with our heart. And that's only possible when we are able to create stillness in our life, peace within, so that we have an opportunity to get out of our busy mind. Let me just reconnect my mic here so I don't bust your eardrums. Just popped off there. I hope I haven't wrecked your eardrum. I'm just going to leave that there. Okay. So what a beautiful way to be reminded of this period of time, the importance of connecting with our heart and soul. I do feel that, up until recently, many of us have slipped back into a very chaotic energy in our mind, perhaps denying parts of ourselves, overthinking other parts in our life, wondering about the right direction and path to take, not knowing how to handle certain things that are happening within our life, perhaps experiencing a little bit of low energy and feeling like there's no progress, or we're not too sure where the path is taking us. But if we allow and if we let go and we allow the river to hold us and support us, it will carry us to where we need to go. And I do believe that Spirit is stepping in to help us, lovingly help us, not with any force, but lovingly help us to release and let go, which is sort of the energy of the rain that cleanses us. Release and let go so that we can come to a place of peace, and that will connect us with our heart and soul, and then we will have those aha moments to help us understand the correct path for us. When we allow ourselves to get very caught up in chaotic energy, which of course this could represent a lot of intense energy, a lot of physical activity in our life, which of course can create a lot of static in our minds and no space left to really come to a place of calm for good decisions. And when we are being activated to make quick choices, it's important to not be impulsive, but to recognize the value of calm when we need to make very important life decisions. The transformation that we're going through in our life at the moment is actually quite significant in terms of the effects that it will have on our life long term. So the way we approach the energy, our thoughts, our decisions, I'm sensing is going to have a long-term impact on our life, that the transformation that we're going through is reflective of a longer period of time that we're entering. So to make the most of our life and to ensure that we're fulfilling our soul purpose, it's so important to come out of that chaotic energy of our mind and come to a place of peace so that we remember our soul purpose, so that we reconnect with our heart and our soul. Because after all, that's why we're here. You know, sometimes we can get very caught up with the trappings of our physical life and our to-dos and the things that we want to physically achieve in this life, but are they really connected with our soul growth and our reason for being here? So being mindful of our energy and what is the best way to move forward, but also at the same time knowing that when we tap into our heart center and we let go of trying to force things to happen, Spirit is going to gently carry us and support us all the way to where we are meant to be for our greater good and to bring that amazing joy in our life, to create that clarity for wonderful things to come. Now the next two cards here is, I love this card, it's colour. It always takes me by surprise, this card, and I might just reflect on the book for this one. When I look at this card, to me it's like when we tap into our heart and soul, it brings forth amazing awarenesses that we just didn't see before. A bit like the energy of the moon that reveals things that were previously hidden. When we tap into our heart center and our soul, we suddenly see color in everything. We see life through different eyes. We see people, places, possibilities for ourselves on a much grander scale, with all the fullness of the potential of what we can achieve. And this card is saying to me that you can achieve so much, that you are set on a course of achieving incredible things, and that this is going to have a profound effect and impact on a lot of people. You have your heights set high, and you are going to achieve that. You're going to have the clarity of standing on top of the mountain, we've got mountains in this card as well, as we do in this card, that's going to have an amazing impact on a lot of people. You're going to see how your message affects many people. The purpose in your life and what you do and how you choose to be as a person will impact people beyond what you can imagine. But this is not blindness to what you're achieving. You know you're going to be entering a space and an awareness and a depth of knowing in yourself as to why you're here. You're going to connect with your soul purpose and really understand how you can bring knowledge, awareness, growth to other people's lives and enrich their life beyond what you can currently imagine. And it'll bring beautiful abundance into your life, and it'll bring abundance in terms of happiness and joy and learning to other people's lives. But this can only come when we're prepared to trust in spirit, when we're prepared to let go of the chaos of our mind, go with the flow, and trust that progress is happening, to let go, allow the river to take us sometimes. But we must tap into our heart and soul to do this. And as we trust the call of our soul, as we trust in God, we trust in the divine, and we come back to our heart center of what we know to be true to ourselves, it will lift us up. This card, the Ascension card, again, so fitting for Easter, is a reminder that Spirit, Holy Spirit, is helping us, supporting us and guiding us. That our purpose in life has great meaning and we're here for a greater purpose. Spirit is here to support us, to guide us in our choices, to encourage us to take the path of light and of love. Not chaos, not material gain, although of course, the physical abundance in our life can happen when we bring beautiful energy to our focus and intentions. But this is about your spiritual growth, about being connected to Spirit, to Holy Spirit, and connected to your own spirit. I'd just like to read a little bit from these two cards here. So over the coming week, pay attention to the colours in your life. Colours in terms of what you physically see in your world, how you're feeling, and the emotions that you're experiencing this week, because your emotions are helping you to better understand your well-being. It's your measuring stick for whether you're moving in the right direction. It helps you to understand and read your energy. When we understand and listen to our emotions, we can understand the flow of our energy. And it would seem that we've been advised that our energy is going to be up and then it's going to be down, and to be aware that our emotions will be up and they'll be down, but to take heart. Don't resist, go with the flow of things, listen to what your emotions are telling you, and use this to reflect on your choices, but to always trust that Spirit is helping you and taking care of things. Colours have an incredible influence in our life. And if you're very visual, you'll notice that your environment, the colours of your environment, the things that are within your environment, peaceful, noisy, chaotic, calm, what is conducive to creating peace for you? What is creating more conflict for you and chaotic energy? Be mindful of your environment, what things help give you peace and clarity and what things don't. And just use that as a way of assisting you with your choices and your flow of energy this week. And then I'm just going to have a look at the Ascension card. And as expected, we are gaining higher spiritual awareness this week. We may feel that we've been on a very long and slow journey in terms of our growth, our soul growth, and, fulfillment of our dreams. But Spirit is reminding us that it is all coming to fruition. But this has been very much, the whole journey has been very much about growing in wisdom and growing in love and having incredible soul lessons. To ascend, I'm just reading from the book here, to ascend spiritually is to accept and love your physical reality. Higher consciousness means being fully present in each moment. Stop trying to reach it, and you may just realize you are already there. It's lovely. It really is a week of reflection, being in the moment, appreciating what is happening, unlike other weeks, I'm really feeling that the general theme of this is less about you having to do something, but more about you having an awareness and trusting and understanding that the intense energies that are happening are for your greater good. That there is definitely transformation happening here, movement, cleansing, clarity, understanding your purpose. This is big energy here, and Spirit is here. The universe is supporting you, encouraging you to come back to your heart and soul. This is so important for the phase of your life that you're moving into. And to have this as your final card, such beautiful confirmation of the journey that you're on, to just trust that even though it feels challenging at times and it's difficult to be patient with the slow progress, there is so much more going on here than meets the eye. Universe is working very hard to bring things to fruition, and to be honest, despite appearances, it is happening faster than we think. So go with it and remember what's important. Trust that it's unfolding for you. My final deck that I'd like to pull from is the Whispers of Love deck. I think that's going to be a fitting way to finish the reading for this week. Spirit, what message do you have us, please, to finish our reading for the week? We thank you for your guidance. We thank you for your love and your support, reassuring us that we are on the right path as we connect with our heart and soul and remember our true purpose for being. So we have, oh my gosh, how lovely. You always have choice. You always have choice in life with how we respond to circumstances. This card says, choose love. Whatever comes up for you this week, rather than choosing the opposite of love, which is to go into fear and doubt and perhaps have some experiences of lower energy and doubt about whether we can do something, or doubt about whether we're actually making any progress at all. God, Spirit, is advising us, encouraging us to choose love, to see your life, to see your circumstances through eyes of love. In our interactions with other people, as we are listening and responding to others, have a heart to listen. Come from a place of compassion. See your life with positivity, engagement, activity that brings you joy. In everything that you do, transformation is so much easier and more enjoyable when we choose to see our life with love, to see ourselves and to see others with love. What a beautiful message. The next one, well, this one refers to a romantic relationship, a soulmate relationship. It says true love. So I think for some of you out there this week, you are really going to be sensing your soulmate, and you're going to feel a deeper connection with your special person in your life. And Spirit is saying, have no fears, that the feelings that you're experiencing is about true love, and that this love is a once-in-a-lifetime love. So without having any preconceived ideas about how love should be present in your life, just know that love is there, that there's an experience that you are feeling and sensing, whether it be in the physical reality or a soul connection. There is no need for you to doubt that the love is real, the love is true, and this is beautiful. This is something that you are being reassured of. So without having if you can let go of expectations of how that is manifesting in your life, Spirit is letting you know that the love that you feel, the connection that you feel is real. How beautiful is that? So any moments this week where you are feeling a connection of love, look, it might be with a person, it might be feelings of love about yourself and your pathway forward, it might be feelings of love for your family, it may be a connection with someone in the past, perhaps someone who has passed over, family who have passed over. But most definitely this week there is an energy of love. I'm really sensing now that this is a soulmate love and a love from past lives. The images on this card here are evoking memories of going back in time, of spiritual connection, of a connection that's is far deeper than anything that appears on the surface. There's a little baby here in the flower. There's a bird, maybe a raven, I'm not sure. There are images here that, for me, music, when I see music, it's a connection to the soul. There's unicorns here. There are fireworks here. There's a far deeper love happening here beneath the surface than what is appearing on the surface. So how lovely is that? Spirit is just letting you know that what you are feeling and sensing is real and is happening for you. And then finally, our last card, express love through gifts. There is an opportunity this week for you to express your love outwardly. A small token of love can convey great appreciation. So whilst we may feel love on the inside at a soul level, as human beings, we also need to feel love externally. We respond well when people communicate through physical tokens of love. And in that way, we're letting the person, our special person in our life, know that we care, that we love them, that they are special to us. So tokens, material and physical tokens of love, however that you choose to show that, is an important way for us as human beings to communicate to each other. And we mustn't overlook that even though we are spiritual beings and we can connect at a soul level, we are living a physical life. And in our physical reality, it's really important for us to express our love to each other through tokens of love, through acts of love, whether it's something that we say or something that we give or something that we share or do for someone. The outward physical expression is important, because without that, we sometimes don't receive the love that is intended for us. We don't receive that message. And really, this week is about experiencing love, sharing the message of love, understanding love at a deeper level, and letting our special person know that we love them. So what a beautiful week, message of love this week, change happening in our life, huge transformation, connecting with our heart and soul. I hope this reading is useful to you and that it brings you some insight to the week going forward. I think it's amazing. If there's anything that you'd like clarity around for your own life, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'd be more than happy to do a reading for you. I'm wishing you lots of love, lots of light this week. I do hope things go well for you. Try to keep some balance in your energy, and remember that even as things peak and trough, even as we experience all aspects of weather in our life this week, just know that it is heading towards the transformation, the outcomes that we're hoping for. Go with it. Go with the changes and know it's for your greater good. So, have a great week, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.